Hi, welcome. In this video, just heading off to a home visit transitional session for Thanos. Again, if you watch my videos, you'll see me working with Thanos for the 2 weeks he was with me for the board and train. Again, Thanos is holding a lot of control, very dog reactive, aggressive. And so again, him being a rescue, going through the process, making a really good level of change with him. But now the focus is shifting into transitioning him into the home environment along with the other dogs. And there's several dogs here. There's like 5 other dogs that are, pit bulls. Like, they're not all pit bulls, but they're a mix of different breeds. One of them's a pit bull, but they're big dogs. All these dogs are big dogs. And Thanos is like 120 pounds, but these are all big dogs. And so the goal here for the dog owner is to be able to begin to transition all the dogs together the right way. And so Thanos was kind of focused in on, because he was the last dog coming in the rescue, and so the goal was to get him sorted out so that you can start to think about getting him with the other dogs. But here's the thing, and as I go out to the Thanos's home and working with his owner, is the big thing to consider is your entry, your starting point, by way of advocating properly. So here in this situation, again, I spent some time when I dropped Thanos off with helping understand the transition part of it. But here's the thing, is when not just Thanos, when other dogs within this group are holding a level of control as well, okay, it becomes a matter of fixing the relationship with all these dogs as individuals. Okay, so whether you do that as part of a program through various board and trains, or through structure, through home visit sessions, beginning to focus in on them that way, so that you're building the bridges through socialization the right way. So understand, this is where, when I go and meet up with the owner, I'll be spending time really getting the owner to think different, to really think about the issue about change and structure, and not just letting things kind of flow in, because me getting involved is the point of where the other 5 dogs are all together, interacting with each other, but expressing control issues all the way throughout, some more than others. But then this is the thing about this type of transition, where you focus in on a dog like Thanos, but then you look at and say, okay, what's the, before I got involved, what was the thought process of the owner? How did she see the relationship beyond just appearances? Well, that's the thing, identifying a dog as having more problems, but then understanding that all the dogs have problems. Okay, all the dogs are holding a certain level of control, which complicates the transition with the dog that just was part of the board and train process, because now the focus has to shift on to the other dogs as well, because it's all about fading in, becoming the pivot point the right way. So my focus today is going to be on not just Thanos, because the focus isn't going to be on him that way. It's going to be on, okay, taking advantage of the change that has been established with Thanos by now, getting the other dogs to begin to change how they perceive the owner through, again, this system. So again, kind of rotating them through. So here the plan is really to start to break this down into kind of like an individual exercise, rotating dogs, but putting a structure in place so that you can rebuild the bridges with all these dogs the right way. So this is where you have to get, again, the owners can kind of realize where she was at prior to the board train process with Thanos, and start to create change with all the dogs. Because here's the thing, is you are how you think. You're gonna, you're going to think the same, or you should be thinking the same, in interacting with all the dogs the same way. You don't just kind of focus on one dog and say, well, that's fine for him, but the other dogs, I'm just going to let things kind of remain a constant and not, advocate, and then try to get him in the mech somehow. That's not how it works. Okay, so because again, what happens is everything will start to wash out, and you'll start to have problems very quickly, even with Thanos. So again, I expect a very good session, and you know, to get the person, you know, grounded more, to consider, you know, the plan in terms of what needs to happen, because that's going to be the big focus, and starting to shift gears towards not just Thanos, but towards the other dogs as well.
Continue on to South
Thanks for watching.
0.